So it's that time of year again. It's time to make some NBA awards predictions. And honestly, I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but I'm just really excited about this upcoming season as there's new faces in new places, a lot of interesting contending teams, and a lot of young players who are expected to make massive leap forwards in their progression. And as always, I would love to hear your suggestions in the comments section below. First off, we're looking at the Rookie of the Year, and for this one, I've got Cam Boozer. Now admittedly, my biggest weakness when it comes to NBA evaluations is looking at young players being drafted and coming into the NBA and trying to assert themselves. Because I'm not really a college basketball fan, so I really have to get myself up to speed rather quickly on who these guys are and what they'll be providing for their new teams. With that being said, I saw Cam Boozer in the Summer League and he had an absolutely fantastic showing. On top of that, he's going to a Memphis Grizzlies team that just traded away one of their best players in Ja Morant. He's definitely going to be a starter on this team, and given who's on the roster, there's no reason to think that he couldn't lead this team in scoring. Now sure, the team's not going to be all that great, so you might call a lot of these stats empty stats, but historically speaking, that criticism of empty stats has very rarely applied to the Rookie of the Year standings, seeing that they're almost always getting drafted to bad teams anyway. So I think the combination of what I'm seeing from this player and assuming the opportunities he's going to get to put up numbers, I think he's a pretty safe pick for the Rookie of the Year. Now for the Sixth Man of the Year, and my choice is Dylan Harper. The guy's fresh off of a trip to the NBA Finals, and we've already seen lots of promise from this young stud. On top of that, he's starting to get confident, and he's starting to smell blood in the water, because San Antonio fans are currently not happy with De'Aaron Fox, but with that being said, Fox is still on the team. And now Harper is going to be out to prove that he's the guy who deserves the starting spot the most. And personally, I always like to pick the candidates who are heading into a new season with some extra motivation. For Coach of the Year, I'm actually going with JJ Redick. Now I'm actually expecting this Lakers team to have a really good season, but apparently I'm one of the few. ESPN is already projecting the Lakers to have a 45-37 record. That would be a drop of 8 wins. Now I understand, LeBron James is gone, basically the entire supporting cast outside of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves has seen an overhaul, but at the same time, I really like the fit of a lot of these new acquisitions. Walker Kessler is a great defensive player, and he's going to be a pick and roll lob threat with Luka Doncic. And let's not forget that last season, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves led the Lakers to a 10-3 record while LeBron was out with his sciatica. And that was on top of the fact that Luka and Austin Reeves were both dealing with injuries throughout the year. Now both guys are looking extremely healthy, their roster's intact, and the expectations for them are absurdly low. So naturally, I expect them to exceed those expectations, get somewhere between 53 to 55 wins, and then they'll be looking to give someone credit for that. And if that's the case, I think JJ Redick is probably going to be the best candidate, as the voters are going to be looking at the fact that he's dealing with a completely new roster who was expected to be a 6 through 8 seed, and instead ended up being a top 4 seed. So yeah, maybe I seem a bit biased as I'm a big Lakers fan, but I do think JJ Redick would be a wise choice for this upcoming season. For Clutch Player of the Year, I'm going with Jalen Brunson. Now this guy already won the Clutch Player of the Year award in the past, and now he's looking to defend their NBA championship as the reigning Finals MVP winner. For years, the New York Knicks have been viewed as fool's gold, but now with a recent championship in the rearview mirror, I think a lot of people are going to be looking at this Knicks team and at this leader completely differently. And if he's among the league leaders in scoring in the fourth quarters and he's hitting big shots like he usually does, then I can definitely see the voters giving him extra credit, seeing that his reputation is now at an all-time high. For the Most Improved Player award, I'm actually going with Walker Kessler. He is not among the names that most people are talking about for this award, but with that being said, he's going to be leaned upon heavily for this Lakers team, so in many ways, they're going to go as far as he goes. I think now he'll have a fantastic opportunity to put up solid numbers as a pick and roll lob threat with Luka Doncic, on top of the fact that his defensive impact is now going to be even more appreciated given the fact that he now has the Lakers spotlight. He only played 5 games last season because of a shoulder injury, and the year before that, he was only 23 years old and was putting up really modest numbers. This is still a young player who's improving and is finding his way, So assuming he's able to make it through the season healthy, he's going to be a major cog in this Lakers offense and in their defense as well. For the Defensive Player of the Year, I would love to pick somebody different, but that would just be a desperate attempt to seem different. Just like everybody else, I expect Victor Wembanyama to be this upcoming Defensive Player of the Year. For goodness sake, he just won the Defensive Player of the Year as the first unanimous DPOY in NBA history. And now, not only is he going to be a year older and have a lot more experience under his belt, but I also think this is going to be the most hungry, pissed off, and determined Wemby that we've ever seen, given the manner of how they were recently eliminated out of the NBA Finals. Which naturally segues into my final awards prediction. And for the MVP of the league, I'm going with Victor Wembanyama. There's a lot of people who thought he should have won the award last season. And usually when those narratives exist, it works pretty well for their MVP odds the following season. Assuming this team stays healthy, I fully expect them to be a number 1 seed with north of 60 wins. And as I mentioned with my Defensive Player of the Year choice, I fully expect Victor Wembanyama to be extremely motivated heading into this upcoming season. Similar to how Kobe was after losing to the Boston Celtics in the 2008 NBA Finals and coming back on an absolute mission in 2009. There's already images and videos circulating online of Victor Wembanyama working on his physicality and becoming a much stronger player in the low post. This guy already has the skills, he already has the mindset, and he already has the frame to be an absolute freak. But now, he's got an extra chip on his shoulder on top of all of that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him become one of the select few players in NBA history to win both the MVP and the DPOY in the same season. But these are just my guesses. What are yours? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to the members for supporting the channel, and thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.